let's get on to the first little project that I have. It's nothing big. It's nothing, no, major cooking fiasco type of thing today. I happen to be out in my garden today. I have a macadamia nut tree, and it's just overloaded with macadamia nuts, and they're falling on the ground. Well, I don't want them to go to waste because, well, macadamia nuts provide a really good oil to cook with. Like a 410 smoke point, really good. And it's very healthy for you. Is it healthier than olive oil? Well, there's kind of debate on that. But you know what? It's as healthy at least as olive oil is. It is a good alternative to other commercial oils that you would buy. Because it does have a high smoke point, it's probably a little better to cook with than olive oil, but I'm not giving up my olive oil for cooking. I also use avocado oil as well, so we'll be talking about that in another video. But so today we're going to do macadamia nuts. We're going to dry them so that I can use them in my recipes, and well, I also want to use them as gifts for my friends this Christmas. So I've got these little macadamia nuts that are falling off my tree. This is what they look like when they fall off. I have a big bowl full here. It's much fuller. I've been kind of getting down and shucking them. So when they come off the tree, they're green like that. And they have this shell on them. And you want to take the shell off. You want to husk it. That's what they call it. So it looks like that, almost like a little avocado, except for it's smaller, and it's a macadamia nut. So we're going to take those off. So what I did is I take those off, throw them into a little garbage disposal. I don't know if that's good for them or not, but anyway, so I put them in there, and then, so I've done quite a few already. They're in this basket here, and just throw them in there, the ones that I have done, and then water them. Then I'm going to rinse them off. Give them a good rinse. I want to pat dry them real quick too. I just wanted to get whatever kind of weird residue they might have on them, or kind of like stringy stuff. And there's usually not much on them. But the reason why I want to dry them and keep them dry and get them out of these husks as soon as possible is that I don't want the nut to go bad inside the meat of the nut. These husks retain a lot of moisture, and if the moisture gets into the nut shell, gets into the nut, then the nut gets rancid or moldy. And that wouldn't be good because then we couldn't eat the meat. And we know how valuable the meat is. So you can use it for just about anything. You can use it for pies, for cookies, for candies, for, you squish it down and make oil out of it. It all makes a great oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the oven. I have a convection oven. It's a nice little Jenn-Air here. So I'm going to turn that on to 150. So convection bake. 150, and it's a low temperature because I'm not roasting these. I am just drying them, and so we want to dry them for, I don't know, maybe 6 to 12 hours. And that's the reason why I set it such a low heat, and yes, I can cook them for that long, or kind of dry them out that long. And I use the convection part of the oven because it circulates the air and dries them evenly if you don't have a dryer, and I don't. But this is an easy way to do it. And so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, the pan. We have to get a pan out. And just moved here. It's a new kitchen. I'm still finding my way around. Everything is way up here. I'm only 5 feet tall, so you will see me climbing into the shelves and reaching out and pulling things down on top of my head. If I happen to pass out because something fell on my head because I was climbing on the counter, will you please call 911 for me? Thank you. Anyway, so here you go. Here's pan. Put those babies right there on the cooking tray. It's ideal to have a tray with slots in it, but I don't have one, so this cookie sheet works just fine. I'm just going to stick those in there. And let them sit and let them dry. And then go back to the other ones that I haven't shucked and just start shucking them, and I'll add them in a little while. That's basically it. Oh, cracking macadamia nuts, but that's it for drying them. So I have some nuts here. My little girl, she's so sweet. She made little turkeys on her bag that she put the nuts in for me. And they come in different sizes. The nuts do. I don't believe in wasting a nut. I am a nut, so nobody wasted me. Anyway, so what we want to do is hear them in there. After I dried these ones are already dried. You can hear the little nut inside, and they come in different sizes. So some people only want a certain size of the nut, the bigger ones, because of the bigger amount of meat in them. They think that the meat isn't very good if it's a really tiny nut. Don't throw those away, because even if you crack them open, if you have the desire to make a macadamia nut oil, that you can do that with the smaller ones. So to crack these, now I searched the internet high and low for about 3 weeks straight because I knew that the nuts were falling on the tree and I wanted to be able to open them. But the first time I tried to open one, a regular nut cracker did not work. So I tried a hammer, and when I used the hammer method, the meat got all, and the shell got all splattered everywhere, and it was a mess. And so there's got to be a better way to do it. And I searched on the internet, looked and looked and looked, and a lot of places in Australia had them. This one place in Hawaii had one, but they were completely sold out until next year. That's not going to do me any good right now. So I waited and kind of, I don't know what happened, but the Google God was with me, and for some reason one day when I popped on there and looked again, I found this. And it was the cheapest one of all of the ones I've been looking at. Most of them are around $80. The cheapest I'd seen was $20. This one was $9.99, and guess what? It was only like 45 minutes away from where I live in Temecula. So at a place called Kitchen Fantasy. So Kitchen Fantasy, you can find them on the internet. $9.99. Get yourself a macadamia nut cracker. They will ship them to you, and it ships. It comes in. You know, you can do that because you can get 2 sizes of nuts. So I'm gonna get myself a good nut here. Of course, there's such thing as a good nut. I am one. So there's a seam on here. I don't know if you can see the seam or not, but let's see, better like that. See the little thing right there? That's about where the seam comes down. So that's where you want to crack the nut. That's where it's going to crack in half. You just want to put it on there like that. See? Okay. And then, and if I can do this, anyone can do it. Got my nut. Got my nut. And this is the inside. Little hat. Not cute. Oops, dropped one. So there's the inside of the shell. And I've got some nuts. And I could eat it right out of the shell. It's really good. But I'll probably end up roasting them to enhance the flavor. I'm going to get myself a little vial of macadamia nut oil. Spread it on there, and a little sea salt, and that's all you need, and roast them in the oven like you would any other nut. So that's all you have to do. So that's macadamia nuts in a nutshell. Thanks. This is Cooking with KK, or What's Cooking with KK. See, I don't even know what my own name is. So come back, visit me. We'll do another little cooking thing. And if you have feedback for me, please feel free to leave it on my blog. I may read it, I may not. Be nice though. Thank you.